Hello students, welcome back to SST class of 6th standard. As you know, we are doing chapter number 4, the Egyptian civilization. This is day 2 of this chapter. In previous video, we have discussed to know about the Egyptian civilization, sources of information, to study about the history of Egypt. In history of Egypt, we have discussed 3 periods of Egyptian history. Number 1, the Old Kingdom or the Pyramid Age. Number 2, the Middle Kingdom or the Age of Revival. Number 3, the New Kingdom or the Age of Empire Building. In today's video, we will discuss to know about the chief features of the Egyptian civilization. In chief features of the Egyptian civilization, we will discuss the society, economic condition, position of women, amusement, food, clothing and houses. But before we proceed with this topic, let's recall cross questions related to the last video. Number 1, what do you mean by civilization? Number 2, where was the Egyptian civilization located? Number 3, why Egypt is called the gift of Nile? Number 4, who called Egypt the gift of Nile? Number 5, what are the sources to study Egyptian civilization? Number 6, into how many periods the history of ancient Egypt is divided? Number 7, which period is known for construction of the pyramid? Number 8, what is pyramid? Number 9, what is the time period of the Middle Kingdom? Number 10, who were Hexes? And number 11, what is the time period of the New Kingdom? Now students, let's discuss the important terms that we are going to do in this topic. Number 1, Pharaoh. Pharaoh means the rulers of the New Kingdom. Number 2, frescoes means method of painting by watercolors on fresh plaster on a wall. Now students, open your page number 36 of your book. First we will read, do you know? The Hexes were also called the shepherd kings. Here shepherd means herdsman. Students, the meaning of Hexes we have already done in previous video. They were nomadic people of Western Asia who settled in Eastern Nile Delta of Egypt, and they ruled Egypt for 100 years. And they were also called shepherd kings. Next, they used horse-drawn chariots and fought with fine quality weapons in war. It means they were the first people who used chariots and best quality weapons in war. Next, they ruled for 100 years from 1700 BC to 1600 BC. Now students, next we will discuss chief features of the Egyptian civilization. Here chief means main. So the first main feature of the Egyptian civilization is the society. The Egyptian society was divided into 3 classes. Number 1, the upper class. The upper class consisted kings, royal family, high-ranking priests, government officials, rich landowners, etc. Number 2, the middle class. The middle class consisted of artisans, merchants, landholders, etc. And number 3, the lower class. The lower class consisted slaves, serfs, etc. So let's start reading the society. The Egyptian society consisted of many classes. Here consisted means comprised. First we will read about upper class. The king was called Pharaoh. Here Pharaoh means ruler of ancient Egypt or the ruler of the New Kingdom. Next, he stood at the top of the social order. He was the supreme authority in all political and religious matters. Students, here supreme means highest and authority means power. Next, he took all the decisions in administration and was treated on a par with God. Here administration means management. It means we can say Pharaoh had unlimited power related with political and religious matters. He was considered to be God's representative on the earth. Next in the society was the class of the priests and land nobles. Here priests means Pandit or Pujari. Now students, next we will discuss middle class. Then came the middle class comprising artisans, merchants and free land holders. Students, mark the word artisans. Artisans means skilled workers. Next, merchants. Merchants means traders. And landholders means owner of land. Now next we will discuss lower class. At the bottom of the society were the slaves and the serfs. Here slaves means servants and serfs means bonded laborers. Majority of them were either prisoners of war or people who were unable to pay off their debts. Here unable means unfit and debts means bills. I hope it is clear to you all. Next we will read Do You Know? The title Pharaoh means the great house. It was used for the first time for the rulers of the new kingdom. Students, mark this line. Pharaoh means the rulers of the new kingdom. Next important feature of the Egyptian civilization is economic condition. Students, in this paragraph we will discuss about financial position of the people of Egypt. Now let's start reading economic condition. The nobility or the rich class enjoyed a luxurious life. Here nobility means honor and luxurious means grand or comfortable. They lived in big houses decorated with painting and frescoes. Students, the meaning of frescoes we have already discussed in important terms. Frescoes means a method of painting by watercolors on fresh plaster on a wall. Next, they employed slaves for the household work. Here employed means to use. Both rich men and women decked themselves up with heavy jewelry made of gold and precious stones, headdresses and cosmetics, particularly eye makeup. Students, mark the word decked means decorate and precious means costly. Now we will read next paragraph. The slaves usually lived in small houses of single rooms. Their economic condition was weak, as they usually worked as laborers in the houses of the rich. They wore jewelry of cheaper metal decorated with colored piece of clay. Clay is type of soil. In this paragraph, we have read that rich people lived in a comfortable life. Their economic condition was good. On the other side, the economic condition of poor people was weak. They had to work for the rich for their survival and had to live in small houses. Now next main feature of the Egyptian civilization is position of women. In this paragraph, we will study about status of women in Egyptian society. Now let's start reading position of women. Although women were subordinate to men, yet they enjoyed certain rights and privileges that including property and inheritance. Students, mark the word subordinate means lower rank and privileges means advantages and inheritance means legacy. It means women were given respect and it was made sure that their rights were protected. Next, in the new kingdom, women were also crowned as a queens. Students, here crowned means enthroned. Queen Hatshepsut was the second female pharaoh who ruled for nearly 21 years. Students, here the question rises, who was the second female pharaoh of the Egyptian civilization? And the answer is Queen Hatshepsut. Next, she named herself pharaoh and was often portrayed as male. Here portrayed means described. Next we will read Do You Know? Hatshepsut meaning foremost of noble ladies. Students, mark this line. This is the meaning of Hatshepsut. Here foremost means supreme. Students, this is the picture of Queen Hatshepsut who was the second female pharaoh of the Egyptian civilization. Now next powerful female pharaoh was Nefertiti, who ruled with her husband Akhenaten. She is best known for her bust of painted limestone which is now in Berlin. Here bust means a sculpture of a person's head, shoulders and chest. Here limestone means kind of sedimentary rock. In Hindi we can say Chuna Pathar. And Berlin is the capital of Germany. Students, this is the picture of Nefertiti, who best known for her painted sandstone bust. Next, however, women of poor families worked in the fields and mainly looked after their house and children. It means rich women led a comfortable life, but women of poor families worked hard. Now next important feature of the Egyptian civilization is amusements. Here amusements means enjoyment or entertainment. Student, in this paragraph we will read about how did Egyptians entertain themselves. Now let's start reading. The Egyptian engaged in both indoor and outdoor activities. Here indoor activities means activities are carried out inside a space, and outdoor activities means activities are carried out outside a space. Students, mark the word engaged means active. Next, singing and dancing were popular among them. They played musical instruments like the harp, sonnet, chess, and backgammon were popular board games. Here harp is a type of musical instrument. Students, this is the picture of harp, the musical instrument of the Egyptian civilization. This is the picture of sonnet. It is a kind of board game. This is the picture of backgammon, a kind of board game played with dice. Students, these all were the indoor games which played by the people of Egypt. Next, fishing, swimming and sailing in the river Nile were favorite outdoor activities. Students, these were the examples of outdoor activities of the people of Egypt. Now students, the next important feature of the Egyptian civilization is food. In this paragraph, we will read what kind of food did the Egyptians eat. So let's start reading. Wheat, millet and barley were popular among the Egyptians. Students, mark this line. These were the main crops of the Egyptians. They made bread from wheat and beer from barley. Student, here beer is an alcoholic drink which made from barley. Here barley means jaw. Next, a number of fruits like dates, apples, peaches, figs, grapes and pomegranates means anar. Then vegetables like turnip, cucumber, onion, garlic, meat and dairy products were also consumed by them. Students, here dairy products means related with milk products and consumed means eat. These were the food products which consumed by the people of Egypt. Next important feature of the Egyptian civilization is clothing. In this paragraph, we will discuss about dress of Egyptians. So let's start reading. The Egyptians generally wore clothes made of white linen. Students, here linen means clothes woven from flax. Here flax means it is a kind of plant. Students, this is very important line, so mark this line. Here the question rises, which fabric did the ancient Egyptians use for their clothing? Next, men wore robes and women wore light dresses with straps on shoulders. Jewelry, cosmetics and perfumes were used by both men and women. The rich wore sandals while the poor remained barefooted. Here barefooted means wearing nothing on the feet. Students, this is the picture of Egyptian dresses of both men and women. Now last feature of today's topic is houses. So let's start reading. The houses were generally north facing as it protected them from the hot desert winds. Students, this is the example of houses. These houses were generally north facing because these protected them from the hot desert winds. Next, houses were made of dried bricks. The cities had 2 or 3-story buildings. The rooms were airy and windows were quite high in order to escape the heat of the sun. Students, here escape means get away. These all were the features of the houses of Egyptians. So students, today we have covered this topic till here. Now your homework for today is read the topic that we did plus write the terms that we discussed on copy. Thank you.